In this short video, I will show you how I do dimensions in something like concepts. Now in AutoCAD, we use the dimension tool and add it to it, but in hand sketching or hand drafting, we have to do this ourselves. And it's actually quite easy. So let's go to here. I have one layer called dimensions. Let's zoom out a little bit, and there they are. So if we now take a look at what we have here, now we have a top view, so plan view, and a side view, elevation view. And both views together really help me to understand the space, because what I sketch in the plan view, I can transfer also into the elevation view. So I kind of like have two views in one image. And then the dimensions on the left side really help understand the size. When I zoom in here, the way how I drew those, you can see the inner set of dimensions is more talking about various vertical measurements, and then the far right is the sum of all together. Same here. And then we add the architectural text to it, add the correct positions, and yeah, so it's kind of like the style for it. I also did the handwriting there for the numbers. Again, this is just a sketch. This is not a drafting standard. So honestly, just make the dimensions readable so you can customize them a little bit. That's also the nice part of hand created sketches or concept drafts like what you see here. Now I will show you a little trick how we can do, or not a little trick, I mean it's just the process, how we can do the missing dimension on the bottom. And I will go ahead, since I'm inside my, or on my layer dimensions, I will turn on lasso, and then I will select all this if I only want to make a copy of this. And then basically I can make a copy of this, rotate it over, and then I can set it up so it is kind of like having the length. First, I want to have also snapping turned on, because then with the snapping, it snaps to the grid in everything. So when I do a copy of this, and now I have to rotate it. So I made a copy, I'll duplicate it, and then here at the bottom, I go to scale off, rotate, very good. Now with two fingers, I rotate it and move this over to here. And then at one point, it will snap to be horizontal. In case it doesn't, easy fix, just delete it and make a new copy, move it, and then we rotate it again. There, now it's snapped. Very good. Now actually I can select this whole thing and say, do not rotate anymore. And then I bring this over. At this point now I want to turn off the snapping. It's getting slightly in my way. I will do a little reference actually. Actually, I will do it this way. So what distance do I have here actually? So that is kind of like 32. Very nice. So I go to here, draw a line down, 32, and there we are. Okay. The reason now is, well, I can select this, and here's another workflow trick. I lock this, because now when I lock it, and I go to Object Picker, you see I only click on one element and it selects everything, and I just move this in. Now this piece here, I want to line up with the wall, and you see there are like very thin guidelines, so I make this one line up there. Very good. So now this I move right onto there. Thank you. So that one's done, and then this piece and bring over to here. Yeah, how we do this? It's easy. Tuck and tuck. Some extra lines. Sometimes the snapping can get in our way, so I turn this off for the moment. Position this. There we are. This I select and delete. Very good. Now, why did I do it this way? Well, I will now select this and say unlock. So I click that chain, and then I will zoom in and with the lasso select only these two. And there, move them away. Because now I can select this again and bring this over. And there. So that is actually now pretty good. If you want to be, how could I say that? Very picky with the lines. So I will do one time it this way. So here I will measure how far this sticks over. 26. Okay, so here align to the side 26. There. Very good. And the tricky part now is, or well, it's not necessarily tricky part, but this line I know I have to draw really, really well. So also I would like to have the same start. So I will make myself there in line, and then I zoom in so I can see exactly the width. Very nice. Snapping, everything is turned on. So now I draw from there, a line to there. Beautiful. Okay, here. Zack, delete, delete, delete. Delete. And then this I move. Line this up. There we are. Select this, delete. And delete. Yeah. Okay. Now this should be 1177. So 1100. Maybe I use a different pin. Yep. 1100. Oh, I also have the smoothing turned on. No, I do not. Oh, here, snapping is turned on. So 1077 inches. With the stretch turned on, I can now do an overlay and see, well, did I write this too small? Did I write this too big? There, beautiful. This one here is terrible. This one is nice. There. And then this I bring over. There. Very good. So now I can zoom in and always see it there. And by having everything on the dimensions layer, as you can see, I can turn this on and off. And I also have here the architectural details. So the joists I put onto that layer. And then this is my draft. And here's my background image to do a sketch over. Okay, very good. So I think this pretty much gives you a good idea of how to do something like this. Now, this line could be a little bit extended. For example, it goes more to there. If we have to, I just leave it to where it is. This is also only the maximum width. If we would like to add the dimensions also for the window openings, then for example, to be more specific, I could do something like this. There, actually, hold on. Rip. So this one, bring down, rotate. Yep. Yep. There it is, 90 degrees. So where this line now ends, actually the first piece I created has to go to, and then I can repeat and copy, for example, the inner piece and adjust it. Yeah, okay, very good. Last tip about adding these dimensions. This is not an AutoCAD drawing. This is just a sketch to explain an idea. So the information we want to put down, it should only be what's really relevant. So for example, this 37 on top, is that really useful? Maybe not, but the 160, for example, is useful. And maybe measuring actually what is this height. No? Again, the nice thing of concepts, if you sketch correctly and have a set, the scale set, we can draw a line and then measure this. So this should be 182, 3 inches off based on the measurements I did here, which are actually from SketchUp. This is also normal because this is a sketch, which is not an AutoCAD drawing. So if you off here by a millimeter, it's off in real life by maybe 1 inch. So a tiny inaccuracy in the drawing will be with the numbers a lot. But again, this is really more a communication tool. It doesn't have to be 100% correct. And if we, as you can see, do something with a 3D modeling before, we can then sample dimensions from the CAD model, put those in here, and then we can use the scale and the measurements to do quickly, more precise drawings. That's it.